What's up guys, I'm Austin Lytle. I am a member of Prodigy Discs and I have been since 2018. This is the 2019 season. This is the Prodigy BP1 V2 and this is what's in my bag. Starting off first, there's a bunch of towels up there. Just played in Hilton Head last weekend and we were fortunate to have 70-degree weather, so just had towels and my Zach Melton whale sack. He actually won the tournament. Shout out to Zach. My putting putters are two 350G Team Stamp white PA3s. I've had these ones in the bag for about a year and a half. They're just absolutely dead straight. They find the chains. I have a lot of faith in them. Either one of them. I try to only putt with one putter in my hand when I go to approach a disc, so I have faith in either one that I can pick either one up and I'm going to make any putt, circle one and beyond. First throwing putter is a 300 PA4. I have aced with this one up at the Sinks in Chattanooga at the beginning of this, or I guess it was late last year. This one just stays dead straight. I use it for anything from 250 under, just straight shots, standstill shots, whatever I need. It comes out. And just the opposite, the stable side of it is a 200 PA3. The 200 plastic just came out, I believe, last year. And it is now, it's becoming a staple in the bag. It hits the ground, it sits. It's really nice. It's nice to have a nice, stable, soft plastic putter. My throwing putters, I would say I throw these putters more so in the woods. And basically anything outside of like 280 feet. Like I'm more trusting in my premium plastic of the putters. So first off is just to keep it the same, I throw a 400 Prodigy PA4. I actually, rest in peace to my old dog. I had it in the bag for about 5 years and was out just practicing and lost it. So I just recently had to put a new one in the bag. This one's super stable right now, but I know that these Prodigy PA4s will stand up and just do absolutely silly lines that you've never seen before, and absolutely recommend a premium plastic PA4. And next is a 400 PA3 Glow. I actually just recently threw this one in the bag. It's super overstable for a putter. I trust it just like a mid-range. I can throw it anything from 280 to probably up to 340. It's that good of a disc. It flies far, good glide, and for 171 it fights the wind. Pretty good. Next is my mid-ranges. I like to keep it simple, just like with the PA3 and the PA4. I've got an M2s and M4s. My M2s, first off, is my 400 M23. It's labeled as an M3, but they later changed it to an M2. It's double stamped with the Huck Lab. I've gotten an ace with it. Ace discs just kind of stay in the bag. I feel like they're money. This one has been in the bag for about 5 years now, and it's just as overstable as it was when I got it. It's very reliable. And then next is the little brother of it, basically, is the 350G M2. This one is basically the older brother of the PA3, right? Stands up flat. I can get it to fly straight. Goes everything of 320 if I'm not trying to throw as hard. It's just a dead straight mid-range for me right now. I'm using it for approach shots and off the tee shots in the woods and stuff like that. Next is my M4s. My beat up M4 is 400G. This one's been in the bag for about 5 years now, It's it's kind of my good luck disc. I go to it when I don't have a shot in the woods or whatever. If I come to a situation and I need a shot, I'm gonna pull this thing out and it's gonna find its way to the basket. It just stays in the bag for that reason, really. And then I like to filter in and out brand new M4 400s. I found out that this is the mid-range that I throw the best. So when it's brand new for me, I can get it to stand up flat and it'll just fly straight, and I can get it up to 400 feet if I needed to. But I mean, if I can really pump on a disc and I feel comfortable, it feels comfortable in my hand to throw hard, that I just got to keep it in the bag. So this one's actually brand new, and I just threw it in the bag the other day. So after mid-ranges, my next is the approach disc. My most favorite disc is the A3. This is the disc that absolutely I throw the most. I throw this thing from anywhere from 100 feet to 350. I can lay into it. I've got a super flat one because that is what's most comfortable for me. I am a sidearm dominant player. And I don't know. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's got the glide. I can throw it hard. I can throw it soft. It's very predictable. A 400 A3, super flat. Next in my lineup is my fairways. I carry a F2 and an F5. My F2 is basically my longer M2. I throw it from anywhere. If it's a windy situation, I'll throw it anywhere from 300 feet to, I can throw it up to probably about 360 if I needed it. I like it a lot in the woods. I can get it to stand up nice and flat. I can get over on it and I know it's going to just hold a nice steady fade. I very much recommend a 400 F2. And next is my 400 F5. I actually just recently threw this one in the bag. I was actually out at the field with the dog the other day and just needed to, she was so worked up on wanting to try to catch a disc, so I threw it down on a roller for her and she went and caught it, and I was like, dang, that thing's probably pretty good disc to probably throw in the bag, you know? And it came in very much use at the tournament at the golf course last weekend. I threw 3 rollers with it and it went every bit of 500 feet, and I was like, okay, well, I'm sold on this disc. And then I threw it in the woods later on and it just stood up to flat and just kind of drifted a little bit right, and I was like, alright, so I'm sold on it. 400 F5. Next up in my bag is the Prodigy H series. This lineup is probably my favorite of the series of discs. We'll start with the old and we'll get to the new. So starting off, I still carry an H3 V1. This one's a H3 Proto. Michael Sullivan actually gave me this one when I went up and helped him up at the factory one day.
For those of people who do not know, who is Michael Sullivan?
Michael Sullivan is the CEO and owner operator of Prodigy. I actually am very fortunate to live in the great city of Woodstock, Georgia, and Prodigy Disc Golf was actually located in Woodstock, Georgia for a very long time, and so that's where my ties came in, and I actually went up and did some work for him for a little while, and yeah, Michael handed me this H3 one day after work, and he was like, you can have it, and it's actually one of my most favorite discs in my bag. The H3 V1, I throw it about every bit of 330 to 350. I trust it on like a little sidearm. I'm sidearm prominent. Sidearm, stand up to flat, and it'll fly flat to every bit of 350 and just sit and hit and sit. H3V1. And then its big brother is the 750 H2. This disc right here is probably what made my 2017 season, which actually, if I probably need to shout out to it. My 2017 season, I went from a 950 rated golfer to a 991 rated golfer. My highest rating to date, which actually got me noticed by Prodigy. But this disc was probably my my learning curve to it, because this was my 250 to 350 foot shot. I learned to throw a sidearm, and then I was parking everything with the 750 H2. I've got 3 of these exact same discs in my bag, but one of them's got an ace with them, one's in Cody's bag, and one's in my bag. And I'll never get rid of the 750 H2 V1. Alright, next up is my new H series disc. First up, the H1 V2. I've got a Prodigy H1 V2, about as flat as I could find it. This disc is absolutely awesome. I hope it wins Disc of the Year for new Disc of the Year for 2018. I've got this thing to go just absolutely dead straight for me. I throw it on a sidearm, and I can get it to stand up to flat, and it actually has a lot of glide. It goes to about 400 feet for me, just absolutely dead straight. H1V2. And the H3 V2, the next 2 to add to the lineup. I got a brand new one. This one is for if I'm feeling a little bit of headwind and I'm not feeling the old one. The new one, I know in the headwind will stand up to flat. I can get it to fly flat and come back. If it's tailwind, I know I can get on it a little bit and then come back. It'll come back to the 400 feet. It's very predictable, feels really good in the hand. H3V2 is great. And then my second one is my oldest H3V2 in the bag. Obviously it's misstamped, but it's a sweet disc I got from a buddy of mine, and I've got it. It's just absolutely worked in perfectly. Alright, and last but certainly not least in my bag is my drivers, my D series in the Prodigy lineup. Most understable, first off, is a 400G D3. I've been throwing these gray 400G D3s for probably since they came out, 6 years ago, 5 years ago. And that's just absolutely what feels the best in my hand. This one's 173. I can get it to throw it hard on a hyzer. I can get it to stand up to flat. It flies every bit of 400, 420, 430. Just depending on the shot. And I can also rip it hard flat, and it'll go and pan out, and then maybe subtle finish at the end if I needed to. 400G D3 has always been in the bag. Next is the most probably important discs in Austin Lytle's bag, the D1. I carry 4 of them, and that is the most of any mold. I carry two 400 series discs and 2 400Gs. We'll start with the 400Gs. This one is my absolute go-to. Furthest disc flying disc in the bag is my 400G Team Stamp D1. I got this with my first allotment in 2018. They asked what Team Stamp disc you wanted, and I was like, I've got to have D1s and I've got to have PA3s. Those are my go-tos. and they sent me 2 of these. One of them's lost in Knoxville somewhere. I lost it in a tree. Long story. But this is the 2nd generation of it, and it's just now flying absolutely perfect. I think I threw it every bit of 550 this weekend, and it flies a long way. I actually threw it further than Chris Dickerson. Yeah, you heard that right. Next is a brand new one. I just threw this one in the bag over the weekend, just because if I ever got into a situation where I felt a little headwind, but I still wanted to throw the 400G D1, I wanted to have a brand new one in the bag. So basically same thing, I'm just kind of getting it in preparation if I ever lose it or whatever, knock on wood, whatever. Same thing. Next are my 400 series D1s. This one is my longest ace to date, a 400 Glimmer D1 special stamp. I aced a hole out at a temp course on out here in Georgia at Chattahoochee Point. It was a ripping headwind that day, probably about 10-15 miles an hour. Every bit of 360, it played about 450, and I smashed the dead center, and I can't take this disc out of the bag. It's sweet. And the most overstable disc that I've ever thrown is a 400S D1 Lavender. This disc is 172, but you would never guess it because it is so overstable. I come out on an anhyzer and it's already coming out hyzer. This is, a just in case disc. So after all the discs come out, the BP1, B2. For 2018, these came out. They sent us, the tournament team, our own signature bag. Mine came with my name on it. Everybody's came with their name on it. It's pretty sweet. It's got these sweet expandable pockets. You can pull them out and you have extra storage. I can fit a hoodie in there. It's plenty of storage for what you need on a tournament day. Sandwiches and snacks and stuff in there. I keep it empty now, but sandwiches and snacks throughout the round. My phone goes in there, my wallet, my keys. Other side, I try to keep, same thing, extra sandwiches, snacks. I normally keep my cell phone or, scorecards and stuff over there. And then on this side, I've got my scorecard holder. I keep my scorecard over here, It's just got plenty of pockets, plenty of stuff for whatever you need on the course. I keep my pencils here. And that's about it. The BP1, V2. 2 big cup holders. Alright. That's all. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's what's in the bag. Hello, what's in my bag? What's in my bag?